What if you woke up one morning and there was no electricity or internet? How would your life transform? Now visualize this. The alarm clock is silent. There's no electricity. The hum of the refrigerator, the whistle of the kettle, the buzz of your smartphone, all absent. You grope around in the darkness, unable to turn on a light or warm water for your morning brew. Without electricity, the most basic elements of our daily routines are thrown into chaos. No warm shower, no TV news, no toast from the toaster. The facilities we've become so accustomed to would vanish instantly. And what about the internet? Our intricately woven digital world would evaporate. No scrolling through social media feeds at dawn, no email checks, no streaming of beloved tunes or podcasts. The vast interconnected world would shrink to the confines of your local vicinity. Communication would become an uphill battle. We would be isolated from the world, devoid of phones, texts, or emails, thrust back into the era of face-to-face interactions, or perhaps relearning the forgotten craft of writing letters. And then comes the question of information accessibility. We're so used to holding the world's information in our hands that its absence seems unimaginable. No online news, no search engines, no e-books. We'd have to return to printed materials, and libraries would regain their lost prestige as the primary source of knowledge. The lack of electricity and the internet would also unsettle our professional lives. Many of us depend on these resources for our income. Their absence would hamper our job performance, impacting productivity and the economy. It's a reality, isn't it? But the complexity only deepens as we probe further. Ponder over how a world without power and connectivity would impact not just our individual lives, but our communities and societies as well. It's food for thought, isn't it? It's an exercise worth undertaking to truly comprehend how much we undervalue the conveniences that modern life has bestowed upon us. Let's take a look at how a world without electricity and internet would affect real people. Picture John, a successful businessman who relies heavily on online communication and electronic transactions. One day he finds himself in a world without power and connectivity. His thriving company grinds to a halt. Without electricity, his office is in darkness, computers sit idle, and production lines stop. Without the internet, he can't send emails, hold virtual meetings, or process electronic transactions. John's company, like many others, struggles to stay afloat. Now imagine Sarah, a dedicated doctor. Her hospital is a beacon of hope for many, but without electricity and internet, it's a different story. Power-dependent medical equipment is rendered useless. The internet, used for accessing medical records and for real-time communication with other healthcare professionals, is gone. Sarah faces immense challenges in providing care for her patients, and the health sector is plunged into a crisis. Lastly, think of Emily, a diligent student. She uses the internet for research and relies on digital tools for her education. But without power and connectivity, she's left without these resources. Her studies suffer a major setback as she struggles to find alternative ways to continue learning. These are just a few examples of how the lack of electricity and internet can disrupt lives. It's a stark reminder of how dependent we are on these resources and the potential havoc their absence could wreak. In the next scene, we will delve deeper into the potential impact on basic services. Electricity and the internet have become the lifeline of modern society, powering everything from our homes to our workplaces. They illuminate our nights, connect us with the world, and drive our economies. Consider this. Over 4 billion people worldwide are now internet users. That's more than half of the global population. From the bustling metropolises of New York and Tokyo to the remote villages of Africa and Asia, the internet has woven itself into the fabric of our everyday lives. It's not just about checking emails or scrolling through social media either. The internet is vital for everything from education and business to healthcare and governance. As for electricity, it's even more ubiquitous. Virtually every aspect of our lives is electrified, from the alarm clock that wakes us up in the morning to the refrigerator that keeps our food fresh. Electricity powers our hospitals, schools, factories, and offices. It's the invisible force that keeps our world running smoothly. Let's delve deeper into the healthcare sector, where electricity and the internet are absolutely vital. Without electricity, life-saving equipment like ventilators and defibrillators would become useless. The internet, on the other hand, allows for real-time communication between health professionals, remote consultations, and access to a world of medical information at our fingertips. In the realm of economy, electricity and the internet are the backbone of modern businesses. Think about it. Without electricity, there would be no production lines, no computer systems, no air conditioning. And without the internet, there would be no online transactions, no global communication, no digital marketing. The omnipresence of electricity and internet in our lives makes it hard to imagine a world without them. They're not just conveniences or luxuries, they're necessities. They're the lifelines that keep our society functioning. So what would happen if suddenly they were gone? Stay tuned as we delve into the potential impact on basic services in our next scene. Without electricity and internet, basic services that we take for granted would grind to a halt. Imagine a world where hospitals can't function at full capacity. Without power, life-saving equipment like ventilators, dialysis machines, and MRI scanners would cease to work. Even basic tasks like sterilizing medical tools would become a challenge. Remember the blackout in New York City in the summer of 1977? Hospitals had to evacuate patients, surgeries were postponed, and emergency services were overwhelmed. Now consider the role of the internet in healthcare. Telemedicine has become a lifeline for many, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic. Without internet, remote consultations, access to electronic health records, and even the simple act of booking an appointment would be impossible. Next, let's talk about transportation. Without electricity, the lights go out. Traffic signals, train systems, and airport operations would all be paralyzed. Remember the power outage in Atlanta's Hartsfield-Jackson Airport in December 2017? It resulted in more than 1,000 flight cancellations, stranding thousands of passengers. Without the internet, GPS systems would fail, making navigation a challenge. Online ticketing and scheduling systems would also be out of service, causing chaos and confusion. And of course, food production would be hit hard. Without electricity, machinery used in farming, processing, and packaging would stop. Refrigeration systems would fail, leading to massive food spoilage. The internet plays a crucial role too. It's used in everything from tracking crop growth to managing supply chains. Remember the power outage in India in July 2012? It was one of the largest in history, affecting 9 states and almost 600 million people. The agricultural sector was severely impacted, leading to a significant loss in crop production. The ripple effects of a world without electricity and internet extend far beyond mere inconvenience. Without these two pillars of modern life, our world as we know it would change dramatically. The impact on our basic services would be profound and far-reaching. The social and economic consequences of a world without electricity and internet are staggering. Imagine the modern world without its lifeblood, electricity and the internet. The repercussions would begin to unfold almost immediately, affecting every facet of our lives. The first to feel the pinch would be our global economy. Without electricity, factories would grind to a halt, crippling production lines. The ripple effect would be swift and brutal, leading to a sharp rise in unemployment as companies struggle to operate. As the job market shrinks, personal incomes would suffer, leading to a significant decline in consumer spending. This would in turn further exacerbate the economic decline, creating a vicious cycle. The global economy, so reliant on the continuous flow of goods, services, and information, would face an unprecedented crisis. On the social front, our interconnected world would suddenly find itself fragmented. Without the internet, our ability to communicate and share information across borders would be severely hampered. This could lead to misinformation and fear, potentially fueling social unrest. Let's draw on a real-life example to illustrate what this might look like. In the wake of Hurricane Maria in 2017, Puerto Rico experienced a prolonged power outage. The island's economy took a severe hit, with many businesses unable to operate. The lack of communication led to a sense of isolation and frustration among the residents, sparking protests. In a world without electricity and internet, our education systems would also suffer. Schools and universities would struggle to provide quality education, widening the knowledge gap between different regions of the world and deepening social inequalities. In such a scenario, healthcare systems would be hit hard too. Without electricity, hospitals couldn't run life-saving equipment, and without the internet, access to the latest medical knowledge and telemedicine would be lost. As you can see, the loss of electricity and internet would have far-reaching implications for society and the economy. It's a sobering thought that underscores just how critical these resources are to our way of life. It's clear that we cannot afford to lose electricity and the internet. So what can we do to prevent this from happening? We must start by recognizing the importance of investing in resilient infrastructure. Infrastructure that is not only robust, but also flexible and adaptable enough to withstand and bounce back from unexpected disruptions. This includes power grids, communication networks, and data centers, which form the backbone of our digital society. Investments in such infrastructure shouldn't just be about building more of the same, but about innovating and integrating cutting-edge technology to make them smarter, more efficient, and more resilient. We need to encourage and facilitate the research and development of technology that can help us achieve this. Promoting digital literacy is another key step. It's not enough to have the infrastructure if people don't know how to use it effectively and safely. Digital literacy is about more than just knowing how to use a computer or smartphone. It involves understanding the implications of our digital actions, being able to protect ourselves from online threats, and knowing how to use digital tools to solve problems and make our lives better. Renewable energy also plays a crucial role in ensuring a reliable supply of electricity. As we've seen, our reliance on traditional sources of energy can leave us vulnerable to disruptions. Renewable energy sources, such as solar and wind, not only reduce our carbon footprint, but also provide a more sustainable and reliable energy supply. They can be harnessed locally, reducing our dependence on long-distance energy transmission and making our power supply more resilient. So, let's invest in resilient infrastructure, promote digital literacy, and embrace renewable energy. This way we can ensure that the lights stay on and our digital world remains connected, even in the face of unexpected challenges. In a world increasingly dependent on electricity and the internet, ensuring their availability is not just a matter of convenience, but a matter of survival. Don't forget to share, like, and comment. Watch out for our next video.